The second gun in the assassination of Robert F. Kennedy has been found. This isn't clickbait. This isn't speculation. This isn't, oh, is it the gun? Is it not the gun? The second gun that is believed to be the gun that was used to assassinate RFK from the back of his head has been found. And right now there is legal work in order to use to do testing of the barrel of the gun with bullets from the assassination of RFK. So, just to start off, I've been telling you guys for a year, I have things to share about this assassination. I have things to share about this assassination. You guys know that I've been doing a whole series on the JFK assassination. Behind the scenes, I've been working and really trying to just get in contacts with the legal team of Sirhan, the Palestinian Christian who's convicted of assassinating RFK, who's still alive. He's in his 80s now in San Diego prison. And I was finally, over a year, able to get in contact with some of his legal team and some people that's been working on his case. And I've been really, just going back and forth with them and seeing how I could help. And this is something that's been discovered back in the mid-90s. But the media just simply wouldn't really pick up the story much. And there was a legal battle with the California courts to allow to do testing with the bullets of the gun. And so I'm just gonna go ahead and get into it. Here's a photo of RFK and from the RFK assassination. And basically, this is what I have to say. I'll do a whole much longer video on the entire assassination. But this guy right here is Thane Eugene Caesar. And if you watch, you could go on YouTube and search up RFK Jr., Thane Eugene Caesar, and you'll see Robert F. Kennedy Jr. until today. He says that Sirhan, the Palestinian Christian that shot RFK, is not the guy who actually shot RFK, and it's actually this guy, the security guard that was behind RFK at the time that actually shot RFK. Okay, so this has been, this theory has been known for a while. This isn't just, this part isn't breaking. Thane Eugene Caesar, it's been very well known that he is, if there was a second shooter, it would have been this man. He also then fled immediately overseas, and he died overseas. I believe in the Philippines. So, I mean, this has been very well known. RFK Jr. tried to meet with him. He kept asking RFK Jr. for money. So this has been well known. Now, here's the thing that is pretty shocking. The gun that was used to kill RFK, the gun that Sirhan had, there was a lot of ballistic testing with the bullets. And they weren't able to validate the bullets that were used from Sirhan's gun to the bullets that were found in RFK. And there's a lot of evidence on this case. I'm going to do a whole long series on this case, but I just want to stick to this one key point about the second gun. So there was talk back and forth, and Thane Eugene Caesar, while he was being interviewed, when he gave his witness testimony, and I have it here, when he gave his when he did his interrogation with the police, and I have it here, he told them that the day of the shooting he had a .38 revolver and .38 caliber pistol, and he didn't have a .22 caliber pistol, which would have been the one used to kill RFK, which was what was found inside with coming from the bullets that were in the back of RFK's head. Although he stated at the time that he used to own a .22 caliber pistol, but he ended up selling it to a friend before the RFK assassination. And this is all well documented. I'll go ahead and read this. Everything I'm saying so far, none of this is like make-believe. Everything that I've said so far is what is agreed on. So far, everything that I've stated is just simply fact. He stated that he had a .22 caliber pistol, and he stated that he sold it before. And then it came out, and we started learning that actually he lied to the police at the time, and he didn't sell the weapon before. He actually had it during the RFK assassination, and he sold the weapon afterward. And this is also verified. It's also already verified. This has been proven for a long time now. So again, this is not a news statement. It's been already known that he lied to police, because then afterward, the receipt from when he sold the gun to his friend ended up showing a date after what he stated was when he sold the weapon. This was also known. Now, it's also known, and I'll show you guys here in a bit, that he stated he sold the gun to a friend of his in Arkansas, which is true. From there, a lot of RFK researchers were trying to investigate and trying to find the second gun, because if he sold it to a guy in Arkansas, and in the police statement, in the police interrogation, he listed he listed who he sold it to, they could trace back where the gun is, and the gun has been found. Again, nothing I'm stating is breaking in this aspect. And also, I'm going to take a pause here and say I've been working and I've been talking to Denise Bowden, and Denise Bowden is the daughter of Fernando. Fernando, who was the investigative journalist at the time that was heavily involved in this, investigating this entire case, Fernando Farah. And heavily involved in investigating this entire case. Denise now started a GoFundMe, and I'm really trying to help her. And we basically don't have access to the money. We need to hire the researchers and to hire the people that will be able to do a lot of work for us internally in order to get the publicity we need. She started a GoFundMe. That QR code on the top right, if you click that QR code, it will go to Denise Bowden's GoFundMe. We're really just trying to raise $10,000, and all the money is going to be going towards really pushing the system to allow us to do bullet testing on the second gun. This whole thing right now is there's a step that we need to pass, which is in order to push the courts to allow for bullet testing on the gun. So I just have to give that shout out. Please donate if you can. I'd appreciate it. Now back to this. So basically, he told the police who he sold the gun to. I'll just start reading through this interrogation with the police. And a lot of investigators started looking for the gun. Now here's an article from 1995. So the gun was already found in 1995, and there was a press conference, and none of the media went. So it says, Thane Eugene Caesar's gun has been found. Revelations concerning the charges of obstruction of justice, subordination of perjury, and cover-up in the RFK case, along with the first public viewing of the 9-shot .22 caliber revolver owned by Caesar and found after 25 years in an Arkansas pond. They found the gun in a pond in Arkansas, and it was being sold back and forth. Thane Eugene Caesar, the security guard, sold it to a buddy of his after the RFK assassination, all the way in Arkansas. And for some reason, the guy he sold it to in Arkansas decided to drop the gun at the bottom of a pond in Arkansas after it was sold. 25 years later, it was found after investigators and journalists were going back and forth trying to figure out who owned it last and then asking them where it was found. And they ended up just doing a search, and they found it at the bottom of a pond, and the serial number matched the serial number of the gun that Thane Eugene Caesar sold to his contact in Arkansas. So this is also verified already. Now, this is what's interesting, okay? In truth, heretics are more despised than infidels. In practice, it is never more truth than in the attitude of political elite and the wags who sing their praises towards the assassination research community. The most recent case in point was the non-coverage, this is, again, 1995, of the press conference held by RFK assassination researcher Ted Harach. He used the occasion of the 27th anniversary of RFK's death to reveal the latest findings in the case. Surprisingly or not so surprisingly, not one reporter from any news organization showed up. And this was in 1995. So why am I stating it as breaking news now in 2026? Well, because there's some more revelations that I'm going to wait until I interview and speak with Denise and have her come on my channel that she's going to share with you guys. She's been working with the legal team of Sirhan Sirhan. Again, Denise Bowden is the daughter of Fernando Farah, who was one of the main journalists at the time during the RFK assassination that was really looking into the polka dot dress story. And it's his daughter, and his daughter continued his legacy and has been really researching this case. She's been doing really great work. So a lot of new revelations, which is why this case is not closed. It's not closed as long as I'm alive. I'm definitely going to be helping and seeing whatever I can do to really advance and reopen this, so that way they can do bullet testing on the second gun that has been found. Okay, so it is no small coincidence that the author, in support of the security guard who was behind RFK, Thane Eugene Caesar, also held a press conference at exactly the exact same time to reveal his latest book that concludes that Sirhan was acting alone and killed Robert Kennedy. So one of the guys that wrote a book proving that it was Sirhan, the Palestinian Christian, did it all alone. He decided to do it the same day the press conference was held on the discovery of the second gun that no news reporter in 1995 showed up to. And because no news reporter in 1995 showed up they weren't able to get the political backing in order to push the courts to allow for bullet testing and reopen the case to allow for bullet testing on the second gun. Until today, the second gun, and this is proven, the gun that Thane Eugene Caesar lied to police about not having, that he did have, that he then sold afterwards to a buddy in Arkansas, and then Thane Eugene Caesar flees to Asia. The gun that he had was found at the bottom of a pond in Arkansas in 1995. It was going from person to person to person, and there was back and forth legal battle with the courts to allow for the bullet that hit the back of RFK's skull, that hit the back of his head, for the bullet fragments to be used and tested on the .22 caliber revolver, and the courts every single time would consistently deny it. And that's where we're at right now. They're still consistently denying it. Sirhan, the guy's in his mid 80s right now, and he's still not able to get parole. Gavin Newsom keeps denying his parole. RFK Jr. actually a few years ago came out in support of Sirhan. RFK Jr. states he does not believe Sirhan killed his father, and he came out in support to allow for his parole, but Gavin Newsom refuses, and every single time there is a push to allow for his parole, Gavin Newsom declines it, stating he doesn't believe that Sirhan feels any remorse for his actions. And Sirhan consistently says he has no idea what happened that day. Like, the moment that he shot RFK, he has no recollection of the events. Now, don't get me wrong. He held a gun and he shot a gun, and there were bullets flying. That part is very well known. People stopped him. Everybody there saw it. What needs to be talked about, though, is the fact that there was a security guard behind RFK that was grabbing RFK from behind and also had a gun. And that gun is the one that has been found, and there is a push to allow for bullet testing to be matched with the barrel of the gun, which the courts are just simply denying, stating that the case is closed. So, in the course of recapping that which is known from the release of his books, and this is just talking a bit more about everything here, and it just goes on. So again, this press conference was held in 1995. At one point during the press conference, a man brought a metal briefcase and a handcuff attached to his wrists. Inside the briefcase was the 9-shot .22 caliber revolver with the serial number Y13332, salvaged from a muddy pond in Arkansas after 25 years. This is the gun which was owned by Thane Eugene Caesar, which is believed is the second gun used in the assassination. Sirhan's gun was an 8-shot revolver, .22 caliber revolver with serial number H53725. So if there was a second gunman, and if Thane Eugene Caesar did shoot RFK, and the bullet that hit RFK from behind came from the second gun, this would 100% be the second gun. If there was a second gun involved and the second gun shot something, this would be the gun. And the way to prove it is by simply doing forensics testing on the inside of the barrel with the gun. You can match that. There's signatures. There's people that are trained to do this with the fragments. And there is good bullets left, meaning there are bullets that can still be used, and there are still good bullet fragments that can actually be used to match. Sometimes over decades and whatnot, bullets degrade, and if the bullets are really destroyed in the shooting or whatnot, it's really hard to trace to match the signature of the bullets that are left. Basically, like the engravings with the engraving of the barrel of the gun. But what I've been told and what I know and from people that I've talked to that are in the case is that there are good bullet fragments that can be used by forensic analysts in order to match it with the barrel of the gun. Right now, the only thing stopping this is a legal battle, really, with the California courts. It's not picked up by the federal courts yet. This is all within California courts, and I'm going to allow Denise Bowden to talk about it more later. And just other people in the assassination, but this is where we're held up. This is fully where we're held up. Now, I've talked to, from my conversations, all I'll say is that there's a lot more work to be had here, and this case is definitely not closed, and we're going to be working on it a lot, which is why, again, right now, one of the main things we just need is a lot of support. Please definitely make sure you scan that QR code, or I put in the description of this video a link to Denise's GoFundMe, so we can get everything we need in order to really push this. Separate from the fact that we really have to bring truth to light about what happened that day. There's this man, Sirhan, the Palestinian Christian that's accused of killing RFK, is still alive. The guy's still alive, and I believe he's alive, and he didn't commit the murder. I truly believe he didn't commit the murder, and I believe he's being wrongfully held. He deserves parole. I do believe he shot bullets out of his gun. I don't believe the bullets that came out of his gun were the bullets that killed Robert F. Kennedy. I am certain of that. I feel so confident in that. And the only thing now stopping us from proving that, because we have the bullet fragments that hit RFK from the back and we have the second gun, it's literally just legal battles. That is the only thing stopping us from doing the testing. And I'm going to wait, and I'm going to allow Denise, again, to touch on this more. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here so I can just show you guys. So Denise, she put together this website, and I really urge you guys to check it out. It's called justiceforrfk.com. So if you go to justiceforrfk.com, Denise did great work. Again, Denise is the daughter of the investigative journalist who, at the time, was on the ground investigating the polka dot dress, really working on his own. And he was upsetting the LA police at the time because he was doing so much investigative work. They actually started spying on him while he was doing the investigative work on the case. His daughter continued his legacy, and she's been researching this case till now. She's been doing a really amazing work. She put together this website with his legal team, with a lot of people. And if you really want to learn about the RFK case and see things that nobody else has really seen, definitely check out Denise's website, justiceforrfk.com. She lists everything down from the audio records to the autopsy, the ballistics, full trial transcripts, everything. And again, the California parole, and the push to have Sirhan put on parole, that Gavin Newsom, again, keeps denying. It's a really, really good website. And again, I just want to read this out for you guys. The assassination of Senator Robert Francis Kennedy was the last in a line of devastating political murders that forever altered the course of our collective history. Millions believe the final hope for a better world has been snuffed out, that an era that had begun with what seemed an abundance of hope was now forever ended. And I really believe this, and I've talked to Denise, and I know she believes this too, that the 1960s were truly a historic decade that shifted the entire course of American history. What was one of the main things that I always talk about was the assassination of John F. Kennedy. But what's interesting is that the assassination of John F. Kennedy, R.F. Kennedy, and Martin Luther King and Malcolm X all happened in that same decade. And the way that those assassinations happened, the way they were carried out, there was a sliver of consistencies between all of those assassinations. It seemed like all of those assassinations were truly changed the course of American history. And there's a thread that connects them all in a way. But regardless, the sense of tragedy was palpable, visible in the faces of thousands who lined the tracks to watch train pass from New York to Washington. The pain, unendurable loss was felt by all. None could feel it more poignantly than the Kennedy family itself. We believe that Senator Kennedy's legacy will not be honored until the truth of his assassination is exposed. It is critical in a democracy that those in power do not abuse it. The cover-ups, witness intimidations, and falsifications by sworn officers and elected officials are exposed. If they are not, what will prevent such injustice from happening? Again, the mission here is to provide factual information about the assassination of Robert F. Kennedy. So, guys, if you're watching this video, this is not some loony, conspiracy tinfoil hat nut job type video. It's really not. If you've followed my channel, especially what I do with the JFK research, you know I'm really not into just make-believe hypotheses that I can't find evidence for to back. And I really feel the same exact way about this. This video is just an overview about this specific subject, but I'm going to be doing a whole series on RFK now and really getting in detail and depth with you guys on the exact documents, what's been said, what is known, what's not known. We're really going to dissect it. So none of this is going to be just me sharing my feelings without backing it. And if you're a big follower of my channel, you know that's how I kind of operate as well. you can definitely consider signing the petition. Again, really just want you guys to check out this website if you're interested in the RFK assassination. Justice for RFK, that's with 2 R's, justiceforrfk.com. And you can really see this, and she does a really good job, especially talking about the ballistics testing, of the ballistics testing, showing all of the evidence, really going into detail of how everything came together, having links obviously to the original documents, and showing that it just simply, the bullets that shot RFK, they all came from behind. Everybody that was there that day stated that Sirhan was in front, and if you count the number of bullets and the number of shots that were heard, they don't match. And more than anything, the number one thing that's truly shocking about all of this is the coroner, the autopsy that was conducted by Thomas Noguchi, who's one of the most well-respected doctors in his field, that conducted the autopsy. And he had people fly in to watch him do the autopsy because he knew it was going to be so, that the autopsy was going to be so important. He had so many people fly him in. He's been awarded for his work as a doctor in his field. He stated, until today, he never changed his stance that the bullets that shot RFK and killed him, the gunpowder was still on RFK's skin. The gunpowder print was on RFK's skin in his jacket. That the muzzle of the gun couldn't have been more than 1 to 3 inches away from RFK, from behind. Everybody that was there saw Sirhan in front of him from 1.5 to 3 feet from the muzzle of from the barrel of the gun. The bullet came from behind, and it was touching his suit jacket. And so I'm gonna go through it all with you guys. I mean, the autopsy is there too. I think I have the autopsy pulled up as well, and I want to go through it all with you guys in a separate video. I think I'm gonna do a really good series. Actually, I'm excited. I'm gonna do an autopsy video and lay it all out and do one after another. This is just an overview. So let me go here and share one more thing. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to go ahead and just put the QR code there. Really, guys, our goal is $10,000. And I know I have some amazing followers that are just as driven and really want to see the truth. And right now the money is going to go, it lists where the money is going to go. Actually, it's a GoFundMe that Denise set up, and the money goes directly towards getting the researchers really that we need. And just let me here actually pull up the GoFundMe link so that way you guys can see it and we can go over it together. And I actually had Denise put it together because I was like, Denise, let's do it. So finding the truth about RFK's assassination, why it matters, hiring forensic ballistics experts to identify and examine the new bullet evidence, mounting a legal case to access restricted evidence held in the state of California archives and test bullets in their possession. So far, they have refused me. I will keep pushing until allowed access. Denise keeps pushing. The courts keep refusing to allow for testing on the bullets. So this is a legal issue. It's not that the evidence is not here anymore. This is straight up a legal battle now to allow us to simply test the bullet fragments. That one of the biggest assassinations in American history, it is possible now to learn a little bit more and actually discover the truth about it. And the only thing getting on our way is foolish California courts that will simply not approve forensic ballistic testing on the bullet fragments. That is literally the only thing getting on our way. So again, if you want to help out, and please just donate, definitely check out the GoFundMe. A lot of it is just, to just pay for a lot of the legal things and to hire the necessary team to really push this through. Because that's kind of where we're at right now. And I told her I'm like fully in support of this. So anyways, check out that QR code. Make sure to do that if you feel ever so compelled. And get ready because it's going to be a really fun series coming up here soon as well. Otherwise, that's it for this video, guys. If you found it interesting, please let me know in the comments below. Share all of your thoughts. Give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And I will talk to you guys again soon. Take care and have a great day. Bye, everybody.